ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. Here for a little bit of cryptocurrency news to take off the Monday blues. God damn it, Donald Trump has lost it. Nothing brings people together more than politics. I'll tell you that. The internet is going absolutely insane, and I have to just assume that he's just the greatest rage baiter of all time. Now, obviously, he's fucking off his rocker. It's crazy, but it's damn interesting to see. What's up, XXI Gaming? How we doing? LFG, what's up? Rick Rock, what's up, baby? How we doing? Cohen's Golden Treasure. I appreciate how hard you're going on the timeline. Dude, it's so funny, bro. Hey, we're going to read some mean comments here in a second. Dude, people are crazy. First of all, obviously, I dislike what's going on in Israel, right? I think they control our government. But like, I'm the same type of guy who all my immediate best friends are Jewish, like hardcore. I'm talking about pray at the fucking airport Jewish. They bust out their little praying thing. They put on their little hats, but I'm not stupid enough to associate everybody, especially people that are near and dear to me, with politics, because it's really polarizing, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just trolling a little bit. And you guys know, if you follow this channel, I'm not really trolling. My support for Trump has gone away. We did support the first pro crypto candidate, you could say, but pro crypto president. But obviously some things going on behind the scenes are not what they may seem. And we'll be covering that today as well. But, starting off the show, we did see Trump go on first of all, his post used to be so short. Now he's literally going after everybody. Now he's talking about the Pope, saying that he has terrible foreign policy, and he's weak on crime. He's weak on crime. He's the Pope. Now, let me tell you something. Through the history of popes, the Catholic Church was complicit in Europe with Nazi Germany. So it's not like they're all saints. Now, what makes me kind of giggle inside is that I have an uncle who's super, super pro-Trump, but he's also super, super Catholic. So I know he's fighting some demons today. So I wonder I got to reach out to him and see how he's doing, but he's super, like crazy pro-Trump. What's interesting is that, it's kind of like a hive mind mentality, because, when I supported Trump, I did it based on a few different things that I thought were important. Like the whole Epstein situation, Kennedy, the whole Kennedy situation, releasing those files, crypto, and of course, no more wars, right? No new wars. What's up, Reginald? How are we doing? I'm ready for Pepe to go to $1, dude. Yeah. Which Trump would stop the war? The war is just heating up, by the way. So things are getting a little dicey out there. But hey, we support people. They don't do what we think they're. Look, you have the right to change your opinion based on new evidence. Right? That's what we talk about all the time. But you got to take the nuclear codes away from this man. He's crazy. Or he's just trolling, right? So he posted a picture of himself as the Pope or Jesus. A lot of people thought this was Jesus. I think it's the Pope because he has the Pope thing on. Either way, this is kind of blasphemous, right? Now, it's since deleted, right? But he posted himself as the actual. You could see how this is. And, last week he wrote "Praise be to Allah," so he's pissing off a lot of religious people. What's interesting, if you understand what Israel, they don't really believe in Jesus. So this will kind of align with the whole, Israel runs United States kind of thing, because, it seems that, dunking on Jesus like this is probably not the best move, especially for your fan base who, conservatives are super Christian. And what's up, Jayhawk? How we doing? What's up, Mizzy? I know it's a little nutty, right? So they asked him about that, which I thought was hilarious, and he did post about it. I guess he just got McDonald's from DoorDash right now, which is crazy, Like, first of all, we had the vice president negotiating with, Iran for during the ceasefire, and Donald Trump and Marco Rubio were literally at a UFC fight, which is crazy. And what's also interesting is to see the contrast to how the UFC fans cheered him on to how they kind of, I wouldn't say they booed him, but it was definitely less excited during the last crypto event. So I thought that was interesting. So this is Trump responding to the whole, surely he's not the Antichrist. I know, bro. He didn't put his hand on the Bible when he swore in either. Did you notice that? I'm Catholic. Now I know how the jihadis feel when they feel disrespected. I know, bro. So check this out. So this is he says Donald Trump claims his AI generated Truth Social post was depicting him as a doctor, not Jesus Christ.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor. And
nigga, a doctor. If you go to the post, I'll go to my page. Clearly, it's supposed to be Jesus Christ, right? Clearly. What doctor looks like? If my doctor doesn't, next time I go for a doctor appointment, if he doesn't walk in looking like the goddamn, if he doesn't come back looking like a prophet, I'm switching doctors.
It had to do with Red Cross. As a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake news could come up with that one. So,
yeah, you think he's losing it? Look at the little shit-eating grin he has on his face. You know.
I just heard about it, and I said, "How did they come up with that?"
Look at him. He's trolling so hard, dude. Look at him. How did they come up with that?
It's supposed to be me as a doctor. And I said, how did they come up with that?
This guy's a cock, dude.
It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better. And I do make people better. I make
who? Gas is all expensive. Price of food's up, inflation's up, but he just literally says things and people will just believe it. It's actually crazy, but hey, it is what it is. This is kind of like the times we're living in right now, which I'm not surprised. It is what it is. He's lied about everything, right? What's up, Diamond? How we doing? Rick Rock says he's such a lying piece of shit. Yeah, he's wilding out for sure. Okay. So obviously we've had some World Liberty Finance drama. So if you guys didn't know, Justin Sun, pretty much the founder and owner of Tron, was the biggest investor into World Liberty Finance. Now they blacklisted his wallet. He made this huge post pretty much telling him to unfreeze his stuff. Like there's a lot of shady stuff going on, right? So pretty much, people that were friendly, like me and other crypto people that were friendly with Donald Trump are kind of looking at him a little differently, and the Trump family a little differently. They feel less like he's here to help the space and more like he's here to milk the space, right? Which, to each their own, which it seems like that's what's going on. I'm going to read a huge thread for you guys. But, in a nutshell, pretty much Justin Sun's kind of calling him out for not unlocking his tokens and doing shady things, right? So World Liberty Finance said, does anyone still believe Justin Sun? Justin's favorite move is playing the victim while making baseless allegations to cover up his own misconduct. Now, keep in mind that Justin Sun is no saint in the space, right? He's been a part of many suspicious things going on, but he's still a crypto guy. He's still our guy, Same playbook, different target. World Liberty Finance isn't the first. We have the contracts. We have the evidence. We have the truth. See you in court, pal, which is so gay, right? But I believe Justin Sun, and it got like a bunch of views. I replied in their comments. Shows a chart of World Liberty Financial and shows the chart of Tron. And really, Tron's been looking pretty damn good. Tron's been a pretty good looking chart. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And thank you so much for the repost, Death Wish Crypto. I appreciate it over on X. If you're watching over on X, make sure to repost the stream. So, that's the stuff going on with Justin. So now this is a satire account. A lot of people thought this guy was from actually from the World Liberty Financial team. Check this out. He says, I am a Web3 ambassador at World Liberty Financial. There are 12 of us on the team page. 4 are named Trump. 3 are named Witkoff. Witkoffs and Trumps. The page is called The Passionate Mind Shaping the Future of Finance. 600,000 wallets bought our meme coin. They lost $3.86 billion. The family collected $350 million in trading fees. It launched 3 days before the inauguration. 80% of the supply went to CIC, Digital LLC, and Fight LLC. I did not choose the name. I designed the allocation, the vesting, the timing, and the distance between the product and the president. So it's showing how everything is tied up and why Trump's net worth has been increasing so much. Remember, this is satire, right? But he's speaking facts here. The distance is my best work. I'm the reason these events are unrelated. So obviously they're related, right? World Liberty Financial sends 75 cents of every dollar to DT Marks DeFi LLC. This is the family's entity. Zero capital contributed, zero liability assumed. I wrote this into the gold paper. It's funny they call their white paper the gold paper. Page 14. The lawyers bound it in white leather. The binding costs more than the due diligence, which is hilarious. Justin Sun invested, so this is the Justin Sun part. Justin Sun invested $75 million. He was facing SEC fraud charges. The SEC dropped the case. He is now our advisor. These events are unrelated. So a little pay for play, right? So we knew the CZ thing, but I didn't know about the Justin Sun thing. What's up, Selma Fudd? How we doing? CZ pleaded guilty to federal money laundering violations. He received a presidential pardon. The SEC dropped this lawsuit against him the same week we listed our stablecoin. Then the exchange settled a $2 billion deal in a stablecoin. These events are unrelated. Arthur Hayes, another crypto guy, Benjamin Delo, and Samuel Reed of BitMEX pleaded guilty to the Bank Secrecy Act violation. All three received presidential pardons. Then the company itself was pardoned. $100 million in fines, gone. An American first. An American first. These events are unrelated. Jesus, right? So all crypto guys, obviously they're going to help Donald Trump get into the space and those sorts of things. That's why people are alleging that he pardoned these guys, right? When I remember when Donald Trump went on, I forgot which news channel, but he said he didn't even know who CZ was. Sheikha Tanao, from some guy in Abu Dhabi, paid $500 million for a 49% stake that was never publicly disclosed. Then the administration approved semiconductor exports to his companies over national security objections. These events are unrelated. And yes, I am in Charlottesville. Actually, Trump was here the other day. Everything is unrelated. I track the unrelatedness on a dashboard I built. The dashboard has 7 columns now. I am proud of the dashboard. Check this out too. On May 22nd, 220 people paid a combined $148 million to eat dinner with the American first president. Over half were foreign nationals. Justin Sun paid $18 million for the first seat. He visited the executive office building that same day. I designed the seating chart. I put it on an investor confidence page. The page is doing well. The team page lists 3 Witkoffs. All 3 are co-founders. Stephen Witkoff is the president's Middle East envoy. He testifies as a character witness at the president's fraud trial. His son, Zach, runs the crypto operation. His son, Alex, is also a co-founder. I've not been told what Alex co-founded. So, they're pretty much breaking down this whole thing. The father runs the diplomacy. The son runs the platform. The father runs both. That is organizational efficiency. Barron is 19. His title is Web3 ambassador, the same as mine. Donald Jr. called the conflicts of interest, quote, complete nonsense. Eric launched a Bitcoin mining company called American Bitcoin, American First. The mining partner is Hut 8. Hut 8 is founded in Canada. America First means the name. On March 6th, the president signed an executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The order directs the government to hold Bitcoin. The president's family holds billions in Bitcoins. The executive order appreciates the president's asset by presidential decree. I did not write the executive order. I made sure it looked unrelated to the portfolio. So what he's saying is this whole reserve is just going to be Donald Trump's secret reserve when he leaves office, which is crazy. Trump Media put $2 billion of Bitcoin on its balance sheet. The ticker is DJT, his initials. The press secretary said it's absurd to insinuate that the president's profiting off of his presidency. Forbes calculated his crypto holdings exceed the combined value of Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower. I would call that absurd too. That is my job. 600,000 wallets bought in. One of them asked why she could not withdraw her funds. Now they're talking about World Liberty Finance again. I told her the protocol was experienced dynamic market conditions. She asked what that meant. I sent her to the gold paper. She said that she read the gold paper. I muted her channel. Dynamic means the conditions change. The conditions that change was her access. A congressman called us the world's most corrupt crypto startup operation. We put it on a coffee mug. Ironic merchandise, $45. The revenue split on the mug was also 75-25. My own tokens vest on a different schedule. I wrote that schedule. That is not in the gold paper. The meme coin funds the family. The family funds the platform. The platform funds the stable coin. The stable coin funds the deals. The deals require the pardons. The pardons free the partners. The partners fund the platforms. The president signed the executive orders. The executive orders inflate the asset. The asset funds the family. Crazy. And it sounds like 5 million views. Crazy how he put that all together. So a lot of shit going on with Trump's crypto project. Now the issue is, and what's up, Priest? How we doing? Good morning. What's up? Or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Now I just hope that this isn't our Terra Luna. This isn't our FTX of this cycle. Because I was kind of thinking of something that would really dump because we need Black Swan events are kind of tanks the crypto space. At least that's what happened last cycle to really put us at the pico bottom. So we'll see what happens, but it's very, very interesting to see that all this going on. And I can't say I am surprised. I will say I'm surprised, but Jesus Christ, right? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. What else do we have going on? Oh, so it looked like Let's see. Yeah, Kraken had a security update. Looks like I think it was like 0.02% of accounts were affected, but it seems like people were trying to blackmail them. So we are currently being extorted they're being extorted by a criminal group threatening to release videos of our internal systems with client data shown if we do not comply with their demands. So it looks like, I'm not sure if they're complying with their demands or something like that. Kraken identified and shut down 2 instances of inappropriate access to limited client data reports. In February 2025, that's a while ago, we received a tip from a trusted source regarding a video shared on a criminal forum that appeared to show access to our client support system. We immediately launched it. It's crazy that we're finding out about this like more than a year later. I know they wanted to get to the bottom of it, but it's kind of crazy that people had their information leaked and it took them more than a year to get back to it. It's kind of crazy to me. Since then, we've been collaborating with industry partners and law enforcement to investigate and disrupt insider recruitment efforts, targeting not only crypto companies, but also gaming and telecommunication organizations. So I think that the moral of the story is, they got blackmailed, got their system exploited. But if you are a client potentially affected by this, you've already been notified. So if you use Kraken Exchange, just heads up, heads up. There's some information leaked, but I'm assuming that if you, if you were affected by that, you already knew about it. And what's funny about back to the Trump situation, I do remember now he posted a picture of him as the Pope. So people are, kind of saying this is a little blast from the past. And what's up, Head Snap? He did convert. Surely he's not the Antichrist. I mean, he might be. It's either him or Peter Thiel, or Peter Thiel with the was the whole Palantir thing, right? Or AI overlords. Now, I wonder if AI is ever going to get to a point, where I think AI is going to get to the point where it just controls everything, But check out FTC community. I should probably look at some meme coins, right? We'll see how the meme coin market's doing. Obviously, it's dead right now, guys. There was one that ran. I think it was called Rave. That did some big numbers. I think it was like listed on Binance like right away, which I thought is crazy. And we're going to do a little bit of a short stream today, guys. Oh yeah, Rave DAO. Here it is, the Rave DAO. So this thing got listed on Binance, I think today. Let me check it out. Give me a second here. A lot of people are saying that, just like some of the other Binance meme coins that they listed, like, they scammed it. We want a 6-hour stream. I got a long day. I know. Rodney, the reset will not only affect the world financial system, but the world structure, as well as bringing us to new world order. Yeah, for sure. I know. I think that slowly but surely, like, our freedoms are just being taken away. And it started a long, long time ago. But, I am of the belief that we never really, regular people, we never really have a choice in the direction which the country goes. I think we have the illusion of choice. I think George Carlin put it best, saying that this country was bought and paid for a long time ago. And, I really sat down thinking about like our founding fathers and how the United States even formed. It was pretty much a bunch of people who could people who had money that could flee Europe and start their own place. And they're all, this country is pretty much flooded by like wealthy people. Not everybody was wealthy, but, independent free thinkers, and the thing is, like, yes, the Declaration of Independence says all men shall be created equal, but at the time they had slaves, right? They weren't talking about everybody. They didn't really mean everybody, and think of all the Native Americans that were killed and stuff. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that's the way countries operate, right? Countries always operate like that. They're always looking out for their own self-interest, right? That's why the United States is in everybody's business. We're always looking out for the preservation of our society. And so, that's just how countries are. And every country has a dark history, slavery, mass murders, all kinds of shit, so we're not special. But this was the big meme coin. It went from 25 cents to over $11, which is interesting. It's a Web3 music protocol. The partners include Binance, OKS, BitGet, and Warner Music. Real product, real revenue. So I thought that was interesting. So a new token. I wouldn't even call it a meme coin. I guess it's just called Rave DAO. To me, it seems like one of those projects that they launched, and if you got in, you got in, but if you didn't, you didn't. Kind of deal. And then it just absolutely ripped when it got listed on the exchanges. So there's still stuff out there, but you got to be like in the trenches. What's up, NYC Powers? How we doing? Your freedom goes as far as your money goes. True. And, back to the point I was saying about the New World Order. I mean, it's going to get to a point where AI is so smart. It already is. Like, I've been using AI a lot more over the last couple of weeks, and maybe I'm a little late to the game. I understand it, but I'm just actually shocked at how good it is. And it's only going to get better. Like, I was watching a video on AI, the quality of AI videos from like 2023 to now, and over the last 3 years, it's absolutely insane. And it compounds, right? It's exponential. So it's going to be even crazier in like 10 years from now or something like that. All right. So I think we can expect that kind of thing, All right. But now let's read some mean comments, which I think are hilarious, dude. Okay. Let's read some of this. Because I posted this. It's kind of trolling. And oh, there we go. I posted this. I spent months before the election supporting Trump. Cringe, I know. But hey, I got duped like so many other people. Would Kamala have been worse? Maybe. Would she have launched a bunch of meme coins about her and her husband? I highly doubt it. Started a shady crypto project with her family, World Liberty Finance. I just hope that World Liberty Financial doesn't turn into the next FTX or Terra Luna. That would set us back 10 years, because it would. Because, this whole pro-crypto thing's great, but let me tell you something. The next administration, they're going to associate all the entire crypto space with Trump. Our space could be going backwards, so that's important to think about. They already didn't like crypto. Now they really don't like crypto because they're associating it with Trump, because he made it about himself pretty much, right? But it's funny to see the amount of comments in here, bro, just talking shit. And of course, I replied to some of them, which I thought was hilarious. What's up, Diamond Frenzy? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. This guy has a huge following. Says, you didn't get duped. You made a selfish choice. We explained exactly what he was going to do. Nothing this thug has done was not expected. You magots, liked his lies. He knew y'all were gullible as hell. And I put the picture of that guy from Django, the head house nigga. Let's see what else this person said. He says, I saw your bio. You aren't smart enough to buy Trump crypto again. Anyway, you aren't smart enough not to buy Trump crypto again. Says a lot about you. And I actually did buy some Trump crypto, which, what's up, good dog? I mean, these dips, I'll have 50K in alts in 2 more months. I've invested that much of my own money. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, like that's good that you're doubling down on that. It's good that you're learning from the situation, And maybe it takes a few cycles, Maybe it takes a few cycles. If I don't make it in this bull run, I quit and poofing. I think Bitcoin is the best bet, right? Can we all agree that Donald Trump is making Nancy Pelosi look like a saint? What's some better comments? Some motherfuckers are just talking shit. What's up, Kenny? FTC we got FTC in the chat. What's up, FTC? I don't know what that is, but Pump Mine says, Rodney, I've been following you for quite some time now. I need your advice. I have no idea how to get my product to get used. It's not like another BS app. It actually solves problems with Pump Fun, but I can't get people to actually see it. I'm in the camp, and I'll pull it up for you if you want. I'm in the camp of, if it's good, people will just naturally use it. I think that's how it is, right? So be the first to launch proof of work, mineable tokens. Mining is the future. Base and pump mine so what do? You just like mine? You like earn pass? What's up, Bernex? How we doing? Deploys a token, let miners find it. I mean, I'm of the here's the thing, Pupman. I don't know when you launched it, but just keep grinding. And I'm in the camp that if people like it, they'll use it. Whatever it is, they'll lose it. They'll for sure use it. You know, if people really like something, they'll use it. Rodney, let me borrow 10K. Nigga, let me borrow 10K. You know? Well, I'm going to pull up some of these funny comments. Give me a second. Also, the crypto bots are getting shaved here. This is funny. So the thread guy, obviously big crypto person, said, where did everybody go? And he says, I think when we removed the crypto bots, there were only about 2,000 people rugging each other back and forth forever, which is crazy, right? So obviously they're cracking down on crypto X. And there is a lot of bots on X. Like a lot of people will make bots for their project, you know, just to get more engagement and stuff like that. Which it's not really new, but it's interesting to see them cracking down. A lot of people are mad because a lot of people, my engagement has gone down too. But you know, it's part of the game. You know, what's up, my crypto space UK? Oh, Trump just put an AI photo of him out there being Jesus, which is crazy. This guy says, your dumb ass simply thought that tap dancing for Massa Trump would get you white racist brownie points. To hell with black folks in general. You fool no one with your I was duped bullshit. All of you MAGA KKK and MAGA cocoons can fuck off. Dude, people, bro. Nothing brings... And of course, I put the head house nigga right here. Let me see. This guy, you didn't get duped. You're a coon who doesn't like himself. I said, okay, Cooter. This guy says, was it the pussy grabbing that was too much for you? What made you decide it was over for you? I put, nah, the grabbing the pussy was fine. The Epstein files did it for me. This guy says, you didn't get duped. You're just stupid. I said, true. And people got mad that I said that would Kamala have been better? I said, maybe. And people are like, what do you mean? Someone put a good one here, just cursing me out. For you to be a black man and still be this dumb to be duped by Trump is really embarrassing. Lol, you are a clown. Thanks, Adwa. Trump must be off his medication. Bro, I don't think he even takes medication. Would Kamala have been worse? Maybe. A prosecutor versus a convicted felon? Are you seriously posed that question? Trump's mockery of Jesus is completely Israel ideology. The Lord is not happy. I know, yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, Jews don't really believe in Jesus, you know. No, Rod, you didn't get duped. You knew what he was. You chose it anyways. Do us all a favor. Stop voting in elections. You either have too low of moral character or you're simply too ignorant to vote responsibly. I have more of these posts too. You weren't duped. You made a conscious choice to vote for racism, misogyny, xenophobia, homophobia, Israel, and Putin control. You made a conscious choice to vote for a rapist, sexual predator, pedophile, con man, convicted felon. It was never a secret as to what Trump was. Jesus. He's on something I am not buying, even at UFC fight. I know, bro. I know it's not good. He's losing a lot of support. It's bad. Considering who Epstein was looking for and how much they hung out, Israel has yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. A lot of blackmail. They have to have like a video of him sucking dick or something. Something's got to be going on there. You know, there's something got to be going on there. Here we go. Exactly how could she have been worse? Doing tariffs, attacking and threatening smaller countries, adding $4 trillion to the debt, kidnapping and canceling world leaders, enabling the shooter of U.S. citizens by an armed militia. Wait, what? Started new wars, defying laws and court orders, tearing down the White House. Would Harris? God damn. God damn. What else do we have? You have just shown the entire Twitterverse that you are a complete idiot. Stupid enough to still pose the question: would Kamala have been Would Kamala have even been worse? God, what a fool you are. No sympathy. You'll have to live with the rest of your life knowing how stupid you are. Oh, no. Oh my God. Oh, no. Okay. What else? Trump was a big mistake. We vouch for him in the crypto space. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would say that. Oh, I think we're going to look back and realize that if we get some legislation passed, fine. But I think we're going to look back and realize that maybe he wasn't the best for the crypto space. You know, maybe it wasn't the best. Would Kamala have been worse, you ask? Man, you still have a long way to go. You still one big round fool. So someone like these are actually pretty nice. Wait, hold on. Bullshit. You didn't get duped. You thought you were better than the rest of us. Fat Hitler said exactly what he was going to do. Fat Hitler's crazy. You just hate yourself and black people to realize that included you. This guy's calling me a coon. Actually interesting. You know, nothing brings people together more than politics. You know, the dishonesty at this point is astounding. You knew exactly who was, and what he is capable of doing. Your selfishness will not allow you to support black women. Your own facts, and you own your facts and live with it. All bots, water over a duck's back. You knew exactly who he was and what he stood for. Save the MAGA BS. Start campaigning for Dems. Let's see how sorry you really are. I hate to break it to you guys, you know, Democrat, Republican. Hate to be the guy to tell you, but it's one big club and we're not in it. You know, if the whole Epstein situation was such a big deal, I mean, it's been a thing forever. You know, Barack Obama would have released it. Let's be honest. They didn't. They knew what was going on. They're all friends, you know. But hey, we're all fucking idiots. I thought that was fucking. Oh Jesus! Can't wait for Thanksgiving dinner. I know, bro. Hey, Brad, it's gonna be a wild one, dude. You know, a black man erring on the side of white supremacy because you wait. I've never seen white like that in a sentence. So white supremacy because you are a coon. There's no reason other than you hate black women. I actually, it's not that I don't like black women. I just hate like ghetto black women. I think everybody hates doo-doo mamas, right? If you're a person working in customer service or an airport attendant, that, you know, not a flight attendant, but a person working at the kiosk desk, you definitely hate black women, right? I'm fucking with you guys, but you know it's right. It's like a Karen, but you know, doo-doo mama. You supported the guy who told us to inject bleach? What? I don't think you should be rich versus poor because that leads to communism. Hey, you know, we're still working it out, right? Don't try to offset your stupidity by bringing up Kamala Harris. Clown ass dork. Lol, you dumb about people and you think you are smart enough to give financial advice? You guys remember, this is not financial advice. You are just another grifter. Yeah, Rodney loves cranberries and dude, I love oatmeal raisin cookies. Jews killed Jesus, exiled him from the native land. That is true. When did the Romans kill Jesus? Again, for those dipshits in the back, that's you. Kamala would have not fucked us up this hard. You fucked us up this hard because you people believe. You people, is that racist, David? You people believe whatever that dipshit told you. To keep from admitting how horrible your judgment was, you compensate by questioning if Kamala Harris would have been worse. There's no rational, sane person who thinks Kamala would have been worse. You all went into knowing Trump was a deeply flawed human being. And the comments do not like me today. You know? Yeah, a lot of people upsetty spaghetti, you know? You are a clown if you think Kamala Harris could or would have been worse than this shit show. Who is duped by a lying rapist? Misogynistic. Question: why would a black or Hispanic vote for a racist candidate? Sick of seeing these posts. You fucked up. Trump didn't dupe you. He made you his bitch and you slurped his cock willingly. Jesus. You knew who he was. I believe with all my heart, Harris is worse. She wouldn't did the crypto stuff. Glenn, if you get into the weeds of the crypto stuff, I don't know if you missed it. The beginning, it's so bad. The crypto stuff. Some guy made a big thread about it, like kind of like satire. It's so bad, dude. It could be worse than Terra Luna and stuff. And what I mean by that is that, it could set the space back pretty bad. What's the difference between Luna and WLFI? One crashed 99%, and the other crashed 89%. That's actually funny. Jews wanted him dead. The Romans did end him. Did what the Jews told him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the full story, but yeah, that's the general story. Yeah, and so that's why Trump dressing up as Jesus pissed a lot of people off and kind of validated their points about the whole one Antichrist situation and Israel shill situation, which I thought was funny. I didn't miss it, but crypto is my priority. National strength. Yeah. What do you think about this whole? What do you think about this, Glenn? Just like Trump gets puppeteered by the Jews. Crazy. What do you guys think of this, though? I mean, this is kind of gnarly, don't you think? Like, if you're like, I'm not Catholic, and crashing out on the Pope is crazy. Saying the Pope is soft on crime. It's a Pope, dude. Like I said before at the beginning of the stream, my uncle is a super crazy Trump supporter, but he's also super Catholic. I wonder how he's going to take all of this. I wonder how he's feeling today. You're having your guy roast your other guy. Like, why are we going after the Pope? He's the Pope, saying the Pope is, the Pope is not tough on crime. Well, he's the fucking Pope. This is what he says. Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding church services, even when going outside, and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him, because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it. It's like, sometimes you should just shut the fuck up. What's up, DeFi? How we doing? But now, can we all agree that no matter who's in the White House, they all kiss Western Jews at? Yes, that is true. But no one's been able to convince the president to bomb for a full-out war against Iran. Like, Netanyahu's been around for many presidents, and nobody was able to convince a president to bomb Iran. And the reason why a lot of people think that they may be blackmailing Trump is because Netanyahu, the Israeli government did spy on a wiretapped what's his name, Bill Clinton's phone, and we're going to release the Monica Lewinsky story, before pretty much the rest of the world found out about it. So that happened, you know what I mean? I believe our votes don't matter, and the elites elect, and not the people's selection. No, I think the people still elect them. I honestly don't think the national vote is rigged, but I think it's like, I know a lot of people think that. Now, if you say like the 2020 election, a lot of people said it was rigged. Now, obviously, I don't think it was like technically rigged, but I do think the pretty much the mass censorship on all social media. Because remember, back then you couldn't be pro-Trump or anything on any social media platform back in the day. You just couldn't. They would ban your account. They would ban every major social media platform. So that, you could say, is the reason why people thought that maybe the election was rigged. I don't think it was technically rigged, but I think that the way they did mass censorship and, the whole Hunter Biden laptop situation, yeah. But, hey, look, I'm a guy who voted for Trump and supported Trump based on a few key areas, right? Crypto space, obviously, Epstein situation, and no new wars. And obviously he fucked up all three of those. So as a person with a brain, I'm not going to sit here and die on a hill. I'm going to say, hey, yeah, this person lied to me. I'm going to change my opinion because he's not doing what he said he was going to do. In fact, he's alienating his entire base. everybody who supported him, all the major social media people that all the major podcasters and former news people that supported him, Tucker Carlson, people that really stuck up for him and risked their careers for him. He's shitting on now, just because they're calling him out for going against his word, pretty much, which, hey, you're allowed to do. Hey, look, guys, if you're a regular person, right, and you've loved your girlfriend forever, you come home, she's sucking some guy's dick, you have the right to form new opinions based on new evidence, because that's what people do. They don't say, well, I supported her in the beginning, I got to stick through it. I feel like a lot of people, even some of these, like, look, if you're a Christian and Trump's putting up pictures of him as Jesus, or you're a Catholic and he's fucking with the Pope, I could see. Or if you're Islam, the number one religion in the world by population, he's mocking Islam, saying praise be to Allah, even though we know he's not Muslim, saying he's gonna destroy a whole civilization. I could see. You're allowed to change your opinion. You don't have to do it till the wheels fall off. What's important, guys, to understand is, I think of like I'm a huge World War II person, and I look back and I wonder what was in the minds of people that supported what Nazi Germany did. I think a lot of people like look back at the whole Nazi situation and think like, oh, we could never be that way. But you have to understand, at the time, Hitler was popular, bro. He was very popular. He made Germany great again. Germany was in a bad place after World War I. They really did some unfair things to Germany, and that's what created the environment for a person like Hitler to get in power. In the Great Depression too. And at the time, Hitler was doing some crazy shit, but people just kind of went along with it because, like, hey, at the same time, he's making us better again. He's making the economy. People have jobs. We're getting our land back. Got German pride. And before you know it, 20 years down the road, you look back at it and you think, wow, we did some evil, heinous shit. If you think crypto didn't run amok once Trump got in, you are delusional. Even I thought it would be a positive run with Trump in as far as crypto. We'll see how last year. We'll see how the last year and a half goes. Well, he's here for 2.5 more years, or just under 3 years. So, but I think the bear market is here, and I think the bull run's over. Just think about what's going on. Like 25% of the world's energy is being fucked with right now in the Gulf, in the UAE, pretty much right over there at the Strait of Hormuz. You got a blockade going on. Negotiations aren't going well. Now, a lot of people say that Trump is playing 4D chess, and the reason why people say that Trump is playing 4D chess, is that if you think about it, when it comes to resources, the United States is big. We have a lot of resources here. Us, Canada, oil, right? Canada, fucking Russia, obviously the Middle East, but we import a lot. We don't export a lot. We want to save our own, right? We want to exploit the Middle East and other places like Venezuela as long as we can, So you could say maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now, when we become an exporter and people are relying on us for natural resources, and I guess now Venezuela, since we have taken it over pretty much, they have a lot of oil there. It's crude oil, but it's oil. It'll be beneficial for the United States. But also a lot of people are thinking that because right now what we're doing, it seems like we're trying to just focus on our own hemisphere, right? We don't want to have the United States everywhere around the world, but that's what the United States has been doing. That's how we project power. We're literally everywhere across the world, but we're, kind of turning our backs on NATO, which a lot of people have their opinions on that. And pretty much telling a lot of our allies to go fuck themselves. We started a war with Iran, and now we're mad that they're not intervening. It's kind of crazy, It's like we started a war, and because gas prices are going to go up here in the United States for sure. Gas prices are going to be going crazy. But countries like Korea, and Japan and China, like these other countries, really rely on Middle Eastern oil. That's not true. We're a net energy exporter. Yeah, Glenn. But the thing is, like, we have so much natural resources here, that I think the Middle East situation is going to hurt. Obviously, it's going to hurt because it takes some time to figure out everything logistically, right? But I think the grand plan is to get to a point where we don't have to rely on it so much, because we're going to feel the squeeze. Right? It's going to be bad. I'm Catholic, but disgusted by the pedophilia going on in the churches, the reformation of the Georgian calendar. That's all make-believe. Popes are also pedos, not all, but some for sure. Oh yeah, that was a huge thing, right? I'm telling you, man, no matter what, human nature is human nature. You got some freaky motherfuckers. The goal is to be, less reliant on other countries with trade and those sorts of things. We'll see if it works. Day 22. What's up? Has it been? It has not been 22 days, dude. No way. No way. I'm not a religious man, but if I was and I saw this, I'd be pretty upset, right? It's crazy, right? This hurts temporarily, but that's the point. It's temporary. That's why from 2016, this push is to be energy dependent. So when it's time to make hard decisions, you aren't handcuffed. It just seems a little like not calculated, Glenn, because we have the thing is like what happens if we're not successful with Iran? What happens if it doesn't work out? You have to understand that Iran right now, it's kind of existential for them. They're like on death ground. If they don't fight till the wheels fall off, we're going to kill them. Israel's going to run the Middle East. We're going to kill them. Like we've negotiated them with twice, and each time we've killed them. I wouldn't say twice, but we've negotiated with them more. But there's been, situations where we're in the middle of negotiations and we're dropping bombs on them, like we're killing them and shit, and we're bragging. Trump's bragging about it. So if we can't handle the situation in the Middle East, what about all of our partners in the UAE? We have a lot of money. The petrodollar is huge. We have a lot of money out there in the Middle East. We were offering them protection. So I just if we come out of this Strait of Hormuz situation and we actually lose this war, the Iranian regime is still intact. They control the Strait of Hormuz. It's not going to be good for the United States. BRICS are saying no more U.S. dollar. They are tired of sanctions, and we control that. Yeah, but as of right now, that's kind of not. It is what it. That's a slow kind of transition. We see one move, and he sees the full chessboard. Doesn't mean it's always the best move, but there's more than just Iran and oil. This hurts China's ability to move on to Taiwan. I would say it doesn't, because we're taking a lot of our strength out of that area of the world. We're taking missile defense, units from South Korea. We're actually siding with like North Korea. Like we're like not siding with them, but he's like, oh, I'm friends with North Korea. Kim Jong-un says Biden was a retard and kind of shitting on South Korea because our allies won't help us. He's upset that he's like pretty much, belittling our allies and then asking them to come help us, but not telling them that we were going to go do this attack, even though it affects them more. I think a lot of things we were promised are just not happening. Lower inflation, cheaper gas, those, little things like that. And people say it's 4D chess and it's a big chessboard. Hey, we will see. We'll see. It doesn't seem like it's that. It seems like we underestimated Iran. And think about it. Militarily, they're not going to beat us. There's no way anybody can beat us. Right? Anybody. Glenn, say what you want, but we're not blockading Russian ships. I mean, Chinese ships. We're not. They're not going to. United States is not going to touch a Chinese oil tanker. I guarantee you that. Just like when the Russian oil tanker went to Cuba, we didn't touch it. I'm telling you, we're not going to touch that. They're not going to touch it. The Venezuela one's kaput, and even though they were sanctioned anyways, right? So they did a lot of stuff. It's not shut off 100%, but it's affected. And I get that, but I'm guarantee you they're not going to touch Chinese ships. They would not do that. They could say that, but they're not. They're not going to touch China. That's literally the start of World War III, right? Like I said, just like Russia went into Cuba and nothing happened to their oil tanker, But you can see, like, Trump even mentioned that they wanted to take Cuba next. So we'll see what happens. But it's funny, DoorDash, a DoorDash with the picture. So this DoorDash driver delivered Trump some McDonald's, which is hilarious. President Trump received the first ever DoorDash delivery to the Oval Office, highlights no tax on tips, which helps. So he gave this chick $11,000 pretty much. It's funny. He asked her, what do you think about trans women or trans men in women's sports? And she's like, I don't have an opinion on that. China also said they are going to start buying American LNG. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like they don't already. The thing is, like, if I'm our enemies, I'm just kind of sitting back and like letting us fuck up. And we will see. Time will tell. He did put her on the spot. Yeah. What I am excited for is for documentaries in like 10 years after the situation to see what really happened. Right. Because I watch a lot of stuff on like World War II, pretty much every major conflict. Vietnam was a big one, right? At the time Vietnam was happening, we kind of really didn't know the real numbers, what was going on, and if we were being successful. But, obviously a lot of it was televised. So a lot of people, I figured the government was lying to them. I wonder, and there's a lot of propaganda coming from Iran. We have our own propaganda, right? So we don't know what exactly is going on in the Middle East to like perfectly. And so I'm interested to see like exactly how this is all going down. Like, what is really going on? What are the numbers really? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, we just don't know. We don't know how this war is going. What I will say, though, the United States doesn't have a good track record with conflicts. So I will say, right? We didn't get a lot done, you could say, in Afghanistan, in Iraq. The main goal right now for the Middle East is just to stabilize government so that Israel can pretty much run the show over there, and we can control the natural resources over there. Interesting. I wonder if Pete Hegseth feels the same about China. You guys ever seen Pete Hegseth's videos on YouTube? No, we're not dumb. We're not dumb. But I wonder, Glenn, why no other president decided to do any of that stuff. So this is Pete Hegseth talking about China.
China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. In the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, the Pentagon has a perfect record in all of its war games against China. We lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. We know what our real capability. You see, we didn't even get to this part of the war on warriors. I mean, the military-industrial complex, the way we procure weapon systems, we're always, the way our system works, the way our bureaucratic system works, where the speed of weapons procurement works, we're always a decade behind in fighting the last war. Whereas China, we have, what did Rumsfeld say? You go to the war, the army you have. We have the army. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. So if our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe. And yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if, 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
So I wonder, and I saw this whole interview, right? This is like a year before he became the Secretary of Defense, or Secretary of War or some shit, whatever. And he was really big on China having the capability to beat us. That's what he's saying. Now, when it comes to beat us, the United States, no one's going to invade us. It's impossible to invade the United States. One, too many people have fucking guns. The United States is too big. We're surrounded by allies, at least allies for now. I don't know. We keep fucking treating them like shit. They're allies now, but it's almost impossible for like Russia or China to invade us. Like they can't get ships here and boats here, but they could degrade our military. I wonder if that's the same way Pete Hegseth feels today. I wonder what his updated view is on the whole China situation. Because he was really talking about how China could take us out with hypersonic missiles. And hypersonic missiles are gnarly if you guys seen them. It is nuts. Missile interceptors cannot stop hypersonic missiles. They're so fast, you know? Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know. But it's interesting to see people switch up, you know? It's been rich versus poor since before Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Japan is dumping our bonds. I did see that, yes. Iran uses Bitcoin to push boats through Hormuz. They don't give a damn about the US dollar. No, they do not. Yeah. Hey, we will see what happens. Hey, we'll see how this goes. I just don't think it's going to go well, you know. And if I did think it was going to go well, I would say so.
That picture of yourself.
This is so hilarious.
depicted as Jesus Christ.
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor.
A doctor, bro. One thing you can't say about Trump that he's not highly entertaining. He is funny. What a guy, you know. You guys see the UFC fights this weekend? How about Hokit? Let's go. Absolute cinema. Oh, DoorDash. Look at the DoorDash one. He's trolling. God will hold him accountable if he's truly impersonating. Yeah, he definitely will. You know, he didn't put his hand on the Bible when he took the oath of office. Did you guys know that? Isn't that crazy? I didn't notice that. Crazy. I wonder what that means. Is he the Antichrist? Huh? What's crazy is a lot of people think Peter Thiel is the Antichrist because he's having like a lecture on the Antichrist and he's creating pretty much software and AI that can watch everybody. What's funny is Peter Thiel is an anagram for the reptile, right? Trump's Iran blockade could trigger the bigger U.S.-China naval standoff. Now, I honestly don't think that we're not. I'm telling you, my crypto space. I don't think we're going to mess with Chinese oil tankers. I'll tell you that. We're not going to seize any Chinese oil tankers. You know, it's like a kid getting caught by his mom coming up with the "I don't know" excuse. For sure, dude. You know what was going on, dude. He's a troll, bro. Rodney, when you come to Houston, I'll host you all weekend. I'll take you with me to church. Oh, dude, I appreciate it, bro. See, this is a Trump supporter and a person who doesn't like Trump coexisting. You know, it looks like we had some strange demon-like shadow creatures behind. I did see that. Yeah, it looks like Baal. That god. I don't know if he's a god that actually eats babies, but apparently, yeah, that's what people were saying. You know, a lot of crazy conspiracies out there. Who do we know? How do we know God exists, and who has proof? That motherfucker have a family or BFF or anything? Hey man, it's faith. You know, it's you believe or you don't believe. Nigga ain't leave a sandal or a shirt, no proof, just a book of laws. Doctors don't look like that. Okay, we'll explain this then. Oh my God, Johnny Sins, the porn star. All right, here, the last poll, I guess. What is this supposed to be? I don't know if this is real or not, though. Everything could be AI. I don't know, but people are saying it's that. I don't know what that is. Some kind of demonic creature. Exactly. It's called faith. Yeah, it's faith. It's like you believe or you don't. The picture of Jesus, but it's like Trump. Oh my God. Trump, take the wheel. No tax on tips. People are going to fucking eat her alive. China's defense ministry just told the U.S. Navy directly, our ships are going straight through the strait. We have agreements with Iran and you don't touch them. The U.S. blockade is live with 15 warships in position, and China just announced it's sailing through anyways. Going to be interesting. I wanted to ask you, is Trump doing stimmy checks? No, he didn't do any of that stuff. I don't think any of that stuff is happening. Hey, if you believe in, sometimes it's better to believe in something bigger than you, I never knock people for having faith, whatever you believe in, whatever floats your boat, dude. Everybody has their reasons. I honestly envy people that do have faith because it's honestly easier to be a better person and do things differently if you believe that life is just bigger than you. Honestly, the way I look at life, it's kind of like nihilistic, you could say. Some of us just think we're just really smart animals that are advanced and we have thumbs. And then when we die, and there's nothing left. We were the best species of humans because there's been plenty of different species, right, of humans. We're the ones that survived, adapted, and we'll go extinct at some point too. It's like every other living organism. That's how I think. And that's kind of a sad way to think if you think about it, because it's like, well, all this means nothing. Well, I believe when we die, lights off, motherfucker, who the fuck died and came back and explained the other side, right? We don't need stimulus checks. Inflation is already bad enough. I know that's what really got started in the first place, right? Oh, check this out.
Are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Wait.
Potentially. Yes, very.
Mr. President, can I ask?
I pray for that lady. She's probably going to get absolutely crucified. Let's not forget about 9/11. Oh yeah, I know. There's some conspiracy theories kind of line up. Hey, like I said, if you think the government's batting 1,000, you're stupid. Iran's IRCG hints at new weapons. I did see that, but I don't know what the fuck is propaganda and what isn't. The truth is, they're no match for our military. They're not. No one is. I think no one is. Pete Hegseth doesn't think so. Talks about China, how he thinks they could beat us in war games. We've lost every time. That's what he said. But what I will say is that the IRGC is like not a cohesive unit. They have so many different, like, not factions, but like they're not all together. Like there is a central command, but there really isn't. They do their own thing. So they're spread apart. They're on a really crazy mountainous terrain, and all they need to do is threaten and shoot a couple missiles into the Strait of Hormuz, and nobody will go through there. They don't need a huge army. They don't need to defeat the United States militarily. All they have to do is not give up the Strait of Hormuz and keep attacking our. See, all they have to do is be pests. Dude, you could say we lost some airplanes. Fine, we did lose some airplanes, but like out of the thousands of bombing missions we did, a few airplanes is actually not bad. We lost 13 service members, and may they rest in peace, and a lot of casualties. But if you think about numbers, like the overall, like we're fine, So, but guys, I am confident too that what's up, bud? I'm about to dip. I'm confident that Iran and China are definitely helping out. Russia and China are definitely helping out Iran, just like we were helping out Ukraine, right? So, all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. same time. Be there, be square. All right, love you guys. Peace.